Alright, today we're going to be breaking down next UFC's event, UFC 303, this Saturday, International Fight Week. Alex Pereira coming in on late notice, as well as GARRY PROCHÁZKA, the rematch, coming in for what was supposed to be Chandler versus Conor. But Conor got injured, backed out with the toe. That's said and done. But now this is the official main card. It's coming in a few days. The embeddeds are already dropping. And let's go. Let's already start the first fight on the main card. We're gonna do the whole main card real quick for you. Alright. Ian Garry versus Michael Venom Page. Welterweight bout to rock off the main card. This is honestly the fight that I'm probably looking forward to the most, other than GARRY and Alex. And Ortega and is good too. Ortega and Lopez is gonna be a really good one too that I'm looking forward to. But this one, just the styles, the striker versus striker, just out of genuine curiosity, just how is it gonna play out, what's gonna happen. And we have Ian Garry. We're sticking to the fights. I said we're sticking to these people as fighters. We have Ian Garry, who is honestly extremely sharp. His stand-up is really good. And now he's training down at the Shoot the Box, Charles's camp down in Brazil. So he's learning grappling. He's learning the jiu-jitsu. He already has the great stand-up, the great footwork, backing up, coming in, elbows, everything. His stand-up is honestly really good. And then Michael Venom Page, and also great stand-up, but completely different stand-up style. All the same weapons as well, the knees, the elbows, the kicks, everything, but just MVP has the awkwardness to him. The way he just kind of just plots there, he hops around, that kind of karate style. And this is only his second fight in the UFC after being in other organizations for years, all his career. And in his debut was very good too, but I feel like it still wasn't his full potential, what he could have done. I feel like it's going to be a really good fight. I hope it's not. I know it's not going to be, but because they're going to engage. But it's the striker versus striker. They're going to be very cautious. And then now I don't think it's just going to be an all-out brawl. But I think if I were to choose right now, real quick, boom, I'm going for MVP. I think just the way that he has the ability to he crashes with his opponents. As they're coming in, he creates these insane moments of chaos and elbows and knees and everything. And I think that he can catch Ian on an exchange like that coming in, or just the awkward stand-up could already be something different for him. But either way, it's going to be a good fight. But if I had to choose right now, I'm going to go with MVP. Our next fight. Anthony Smith versus Roman DOLIDZE. This is crazy. Let me make this quick. This is supposed to be Jamal Hill and Khalil Roundtree. And then Khalil Roundtree got popped for whatever. He took the wrong, probably bad substance, whatever. And Carlos Ulberg came in to replace Roundtree. And that would have been another great matchup, Jamal versus Ulberg. But then Jamal got injured. So then Anthony Smith replaced Jamal. And Anthony Smith versus Ulberg. Another good matchup. But then last minute, Ulberg got injured. Now Roman DOLIDZE came in for Ulberg. And this is a 185er. Makes sense. He doesn't really have to cut the weight. You already know these guys walk around that weight. And I believe he's fought at this weight class before. Now he stepped in. So I'm assuming this slot is cursed. I'm not gonna say I'm hoping, because I don't care. It could change again, something better. But let's say that this is the final one. Anthony Smith versus Roman DOLIDZE. quick. It's at light heavyweight. I feel like Anthony Smith is the true light heavyweight since Roman Dolidze has been fighting so much at middleweight recently. That's really been his division. And if I'm not mistaken, Roman Dolidze lost his last one. I haven't been even checking these guys' heights and everything. I should have did that for the MVP one. Dolidze is coming off a loss. Anthony's coming off the win. 6'4" to 6'2", same reach. Anthony has a little 3 inches on the leg reach. Let's see. I don't have to look into everything else. We're good on this. I think Anthony Smith is going to win this fight. That's what I'm going for. He's already been locked in. He came off the win recently. And I believe that Roman Dolidze coming out on extreme last minute notice, being the middleweight. Anthony Smith is already in the momentum. He was training with Jamal for his camp. And he just came off the fight recently. So he's already been in the momentum of things. He was talking about staying in shape. I'm going with Anthony Smith for this one. The co-main event. This is going to be a great fight. Like, there's no way it can't. Diego Lopes brings the heat. He brings the heat. And I've only heard of him only like a few fights ago. And then I've seen it and I'm like, oh my God. His debut against Ibulev. You know what I'm talking about. And I saw that fight and I'm like, oh, okay, this guy's good. Because everyone thought he was going to get washed. They saw the hair. They're like, yo, he's going to get washed. But then he showed up and I'm like, oh. And then ever since that, he's been destroying people. Absolutely putting it on everyone he's fighting. And Brian Ortega is a vet in his own right. The years of coming up, then fighting, being undefeated for years, beating everyone, fighting Max Holloway the first time, Max Holloway absolutely destroying him, and then him reinventing himself, coming back, winning a few fights, shaved his head, gained the striking. I believe that's when he fought Korean Zombie, looked extremely sharp, probably had a few more fights. Then he fought Volkanovski. Great fight. Absolutely great fight. But then he lost because Volk is just the GOAT. And Volk put it on him. So then he goes and fights Yair. Or I don't know if that's the exact time. I'm probably missing a fight or two. But he hasn't been that active. But he's still fighting the best of the best. He's come off the win against Yair, the rematch. Because I know he got injured from Yair, the first one with Yair. So he's fought. I know it was still a little minute ago that it was, but he's coming off the win. It was a good win too, with clear adversity from the moment the fight started. I remember watching the fight live, and they're warming up, And first of all, for exactly what happened to him, I always think too. I'm like, I know the fighters are warming up, whatever, but I'm like, why they just be jumping and stomping on the floor like that? Because something like that could happen, exactly what happened to Brian Ortega. I'm like, yo, why would you even chill back? The fight is about to start. So I remember he's warming up, whatever, they always do that. Then he jumps, they do those high jumps, whatever, for whatever reason they do it. It's probably blanking out the reason they do it for me. And he tweaks his ankle. And I'm like, yo. And then I remember seeing the corner, because he has the Gracies in his corner. And they're looking at him, and I'm like, and then he comes out, he's trying to shake it off. I'm like, oh, nice clip. And then the way the first round started, and then Yair almost finished him, cracked him, whatever. I'm like, oh. And then for him to come back, then change the momentum, and then finish him, he showed he was the better fighter. He fought through adversity from the moment the fight started. So he is a dog. He's absolutely a dog, and he's skilled. He has the jiu-jitsu, and he's gained the striking. For this one, let's see. Brian Ortega is 16-3. Diego Lopes is 24-6. So Diego Lopes has, you would say, more experience. About 11 more fights. And how old are they? Doesn't matter. Diego Lopes is 5'11 to the 5'8 with the 72.5 inch reach to 69. So Diego Lopez is the taller man with the more reach, and I also believe that he has extreme momentum right now. He's absolutely on fire, and he's extremely dynamic. Both of them are, but the way he comes out, and it's not even just that he's coming out very aggressive. He's coming out with a purpose. Everything, putting people away. When for 300, when he came out against Sadiq Yusuf and did that, I'm like, yo, this kid he's different. He got it. I can't even question him anymore. Like, he absolutely got it. And we already know the ground game is there. Honestly, for this fight, I'm going with Diego Lopez. He's on fire right now. And that's not to say that Brian Ortega can't win, because he's absolutely good. And what I really want to see is the scrambles and the exchanges and the grappling from these two from this fight. That's what I want to see. All right, now it's time for the main event of the evening. Alex Poatan Pereira versus GARRY PROCHÁZKA. This is going to be a good one. I'm glad that they rebooked this. And of course, it's not like it just happened to rebook it. It was because they came on late. So they're helping the card. They're saving the card. Pereira has been on such a run, and I'm an Izzy fan. I'm a die-hard true Izzy fan for years. Not like and I got into MMA about a few years ago, and I'm die-hard with anything that I really like, and MMA is one of those things. So when I gain a liking to Izzy, I'm like, yo, so I watch all the kickboxing and the Muay Thai and the other fights and everything, and you see that was the rivalry from before, and you've spoken about him before, and then I've looked at his highlights because I'm just a fan of combat sports in general. I'm saying, yo, this guy is a killer. And then he eventually, after the years, signs with the UFC, fights his way, even though he was fast track, few fights. I remember he fought Bruno Silva, which was actually a good fight, and like a random fight night. I'll never forget. I'm like, it was actually like a great fight. Bruno Silva was taking his shots, and then he fought I forgot his name, but he finished him with a flying knee. That was too easy. And then after that was the Strickland. Absolutely starched Strickland right to Adesanya. When they were fighting, and I thought Adesanya finished him in the first round. But this is why we love this sport. For him to come back from adversity, fight back all the rounds, and finish him in the fifth, absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. So Alex, he's the GOAT. For them to then move up and then win the belt and then defend it already, he's like on another level. How Diego Lopez, I mentioned him having extreme momentum right now. Alex Pereira has extreme momentum right now. And GARRY PROCHÁZKA, he was a champ recently. Of course, he had the shoulder injury that took him off for some time. But other than that, his only true loss is to Pereira in that one fight. And the one fight which was, I considered, a bad stoppage or early stoppage. Because you can imagine how it looks from the ref's perspective right there in the moment. But that to the side, the first fight was already intriguing it was already a good fight for what it lasted. GARRY was able to exchange on him. He was catching him, took him down, and I feel like this rematch, especially, and is also on short notice for both of them. Alex has the broken toes. I think this is gonna be a great fight. And obviously, with any of these fights, we never know what's gonna happen. Anything can happen. GARRY's last fight against Rakic at UFC 300. That, of course, I understand. Max and Justin getting fight of the night. Obviously, I would have finished like that. But that fight was one of my personal favorite fights. And it's not even to say that it was like an insane technical crazy fight, but it was watching it live in the moment, and I'm seeing Rakic absolutely. Rakic was looking great. He was piecing Yuri's leg apart, absolutely chewing at his leg. Like Yuri was constantly switching stances. He was cracking Yuri clean. Yuri kept on coming forward, swinging, fighting. Yuri was not going to be denied that fight. That's how, watching that, that's how I felt. I'm like, yo, this man he's not coming to lose, no matter what he was getting hit with. But Yuri is a hittable fighter. And Alex is so powerful. And the way he puts people away with just short punches that are not even necessarily that clean, or it's just like his kickboxing skills that is on another level. And I feel like if Yuri thinks that he could get hit as much as he did against Rakic, with Alex, he can't. The clean shots that Rakic was hitting him with. But I also feel like Yuri understands, not necessarily that this is his last chance, but that this is an opportunity that he could seize. Someone that he already fought before too. It goes both ways. They both fought each other. They both felt each other. I feel like he can try to seize the moment. But Alex right now is just on a different level. And for my official pick, I'm going to have to lock it in with Alex. Alex to get it done. Honestly, by finish probably too, most likely. So yeah, that's my quick summary. I'm going with MVP, then I'm going with this fight is going to be the guys' break. It's going to be the smoke break, whatever, food break. Then I'm going with Anthony Smith, Diego Lopes, and Alex Pereira. I hope y'all all enjoy the card. Stay safe and have a great one.